Hello again, Mark Norton here in Truro, still going strong with my 4-week post-op day coming up tomorrow after my H1 ceramic hip resurfacing. So today's episode is on prehabilitation, strengthening your muscles and your hip before surgery to help your recovery to go better. So I did this myself for 6 weeks pre-op, 5 days a week with a formal physio assessment and targeted exercises. I'm at the physio 2 weeks before my surgery. I'm going to go through with Joe where I am at the moment, what my aspirations are, and how we're going to get there. So I know firsthand how much it helped me walk sooner and feel steadier post-op. Joe's obviously a very experienced physio and he's going to have a good look over me and help me get ready for my surgery and give me a few hints and tips about what I can do to make my recovery as seamless as possible. Prehab prepares your body, reduces your pain, builds your strength and improves your function both before and after. It means starting targeted exercises 4 to 6 weeks before your surgery. A 2023 systematic review and meta-analysis of 48 trials, that's over 3,500 patients, found moderate certainty of the evidence that it boosts preoperative function, muscle strength and quality of life, especially in hip replacement patients. And post-op, it showed benefits like better function at 6 weeks and trends for less pain and shorter hospital stays. Another 2025 meta-analysis of 40 randomized trials confirmed that pre-op exercise improves health-related quality of life, pain and function, both pre and post-surgery. Significant gains in timed up and go tests, which mean you're more quickly mobile and your overall strength is gained. So home-based programs often cut the length of stay because you're just able to stabilize your hip quicker, which is essential for standing and walking. You should be focusing on the key muscles that support your hips. So that's your glutes for stability, quads for knee control and walking, and core for balance. These help protect your new joint and make your rehab easier. So to start off with, you should consider strongly getting a personalized physio assessment and program. So following that assessment, Joe then prescribed a set of personalized exercises for me to follow. And I managed to fit these in 4 to 5 times every week in the lead up to my own surgery. So take a look and feel free to use them, but remember that these are based on Joe's assessment of my deficits and weaknesses, and yours may actually be very different than mine.
Right, Mark, we're going to work on a squat warm-up, okay? The squat was really good. It's a movement that we need to keep good, okay? So we're going to have our feet sort of shoulder width apart, chest up. You can use a pole or have your hands here. It's good to bring your chest up. Make sure you're engaging those abs. And then we're just going to get you working through some squat movements in a comfortable range. I don't want you to go as far as you can. I just want you to start getting that movement warmed up. After you've done about 5, you can start thinking about getting a bit lower. What I don't want to happen is for you to start drifting to the right because you're hitting that painful zone on your left. If that's happening, don't go that far. Keep it nice and neutral. We're going to do between 10 and 15. Shake it out. 10 and 15 again. Just get that quality of movement there, feeling your centre of gravity is right down the middle and you're not favouring your right side. These 2 mat exercises that help with the rotation movements of your hip, okay? So the first one we had a go at doing that was reasonably comfortable is you can have a go at leaning backwards. The further backwards you lean, the more comfortable this is going to be. You're going to have a go at working active cross leg position, coming back, and then with 3 to 4 minutes, swapping your leg that's out in front, over and over. If this starts to become more comfortable, and I can push these knees down, working into that external rotation, I can sit upright a little bit more. The more upright you work on, more into hip flexion we go with this. Ultimately, we're looking to aim to do this actively without holding on. But again, I don't want to do this and aggravate the hip at the moment, okay? The second exercise in this series are the 90-90 stretches that we found really difficult. So we're going to do these in supine. My knees wider than hip width apart. And what we're looking to do is to roll some knees apart. So this way here, this is my right leg on the video. This is what you're going to find difficult. So don't think about launching into the whole movement to start off with. Just gradually start working away at this movement here. Because we're really looking at the offloaded internal rotation on this left hip here. Right then, Mark. So the first thing is we're not going to try and encourage any pain with these exercises. They might be mildly uncomfortable, but we really want to make sure that they're not painful. Okay? So the setup for the exercise is important, so don't rush it. So stage one is just starting to load some weight over this front leg. Knee slightly bent, pelvis level, so you're not dropping that right side down. And we've got some weight going through this back leg. I want to make sure that you don't drift into anterior rotation of your pelvis. You're going to make sure you put it back a little bit, not all the way back, just into a neutral position. So you've got to engage these abs and hold that there. Stage one is then just slight shift forwards, just holding that balance position. Stage two is the same setup. We're just going to think about our pelvis position, think about our foot, our knee, load that leg. I'm just going to shift our weight forwards. My back foot has just come off a little bit. I'm just going to work on lifting that right hip up, just down to neutral. I'm not going to drop into adduction on this left side. I'm going to hold that down. Raising that hip, just down into neutral. Raising that hip, regulating down the roof here. So, loading the front leg, pelvis, foot, knee. We use the stick for this stability. Into single leg weight bearing. I'm going to try and keep my knee, my foot and my hip facing towards you. So rotate away and come back to neutral. Rotate away, back into neutral. And do an external rotation on this left hip. Back into neutral. Real slow, you do that 5 times. Okay? The second set we're going to do, same setup, pelvis, load, weight on this. You're going to come into external rotation and you're just going to control the internal rotation movement. So even if it's like a few millimeters, that's fine. But I just want you playing around with as comfortable a range of movement as you can. If you need to load this right hand with the pole, we'll do that.
Avoid high impact moves if they're too painful. If possible, try water therapy or pool exercises if you can manage them. Evidence from reviews shows that aquatic work is safe and effective for hip patients, reducing pain and improving function without joint stress. So riding an exercise bike has excellent evidence in helping with pain management as well as maintaining muscle strength. So I use that for 30 minutes before my exercises as a warm-up. In summary, prehab really pays off. I felt stronger and more confident going in, and it showed in my early walking. I never needed 2 crutches from my very first day post-op. I was off even 1 stick after only 3 days and have been able to get up to walking 6K, which is 4 miles, by 2 weeks post-op. So give it a go. Prehab exercises tailored to your hip will help you recover quicker and safer, and your physio can guide you in this. Okay, so the next episode's on nutrition, getting your weight, your carbs and your glucose levels sorted out to lower your own infection risk. If you've done prehab yourself, comment your personal tips below for other people to see, and share, like and subscribe the series if you want to. As always, talk to your own physio about this. Your needs may differ from mine. I'll see you on the next episode. Take care.